I've made my living racing most parts of the world. I've really enjoyed it, but I don't travel so well. You get some people go abroad, they never get bitten by a mosquito, they never get any kind of stomach upsets. I was totally opposite. As soon as I stepped off, when my foot landed on foreign soil off a plane, bottom step on a plane, diarrhea. Don't know why. It might have been the water, the climate, I don't know what, but I got diarrhea. And you just learn to kind of live with it, you learn to cope with it. You take a load of Diacams in your wash bag, and that's it, and I was doing all right. And it never really held me up, but raced in Indonesia. Sure enough, I've got the trots.
Oh, God,
and I'm
it was bad though, yeah.
But think of the water in Indonesia. As soon as they said drink bottled water, you'll get stomach upset. But you don't, just brushing your teeth, you're bound to get some of the, and I think it's the bugs in their water that you need to get used to over some time, and you ain't got time to do that. And I got the trots. After the race, which went all right, didn't hold me back, but a guy called Brian Morrison, Scottish rider who were then racing World Superbikes on a roomy Honda, I was mating about with him a little bit at the time, and he said to me, do you want to go play golf after the race with a couple of days to kill, play a round of golf one day? Yeah, no problem. The furthest part of the course, maybe, 9th hole or something, it must be about a mile from the clubhouse by now. And sure enough, I'm bubbling up a bit. Do you know what I mean? And I ignored it for a bit, but when you get them contractions. So I says, Brian, how far's where's clubhouse? He says, it's there, that's it, that's the roof there, it's a mile or so. Well, this golf trolley, I'm thinking, first I thought, get on the golf trolley, whiz back, come back. Nah, it does like 2 miles an hour, man. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. I says to Brian, I need a crap, and I'm going to go in. I've seen a bunker. There's nobody playing behind us, right? I've seen a bunker, and the fairway's there, green's there. There were 2 bunkers, one on each side. They were sloped, really sloped. If I got in it, you couldn't see me from the fairway. So I thought, that'll do me. Gets in, drops me pants, does the business, and I managed to shuffle and get my socks off, right? And that's what I use for cleaning up process. I use my socks. But it wasn't just enough on that. So I says to Brian, I shouts at him, Brian, yeah, give your socks. He goes, fuck off. So I said, I need some. Have you got any tissues on you? He says, no. He says, hang on, I'll find you some. You know what he threw me? You know the head covers for your wounds? Big furry things. 2 of them came winging over. And what I can tell you, right, I've done tests, ping furry head covers, very absorbent. There's a little bit of a mess left, so I actually dug an hole with rake, buried it all, back raked it. And I tell you what, I stood back holding on to my rake and I thought,
what a good job I've done there.
Nothing's happened here. But I always wondered, right, next group along, if somebody's plugged in there. I'll tell you what, if they took more than about an inch, Pandora's box.
My memory of you on road circuits is you crashed every single one of them.
Yeah.
But not only that, like the TT, Ulster, Northwest, Macau,
yeah,
Scarborough.
Yeah.
5 of the most dangerous circuits in the world. Crashed on them all, but not only that, he's crashed on the most probably dangerous part of each one of those circuits.
Oh yes, it's known in the trade as a gentleman's set.
I remember another one as well at Scarborough. It was my first ever ride on a big bike then. It was obviously a super bike, what you call them now. It was an F1 bike back then in 87, 88 something. And I don't know where I was in this race, near the back probably in the first race. So coming down the hill, and the flags around everything. And Scarborough, it's like a red run on a downhill ski thing, and there's jumps everywhere. And all I can see is just bits of bike all over the place to fly. I thought, oh my God, he's dead again. And then he just sprung up again.
No, I didn't spring up.
I didn't kind of spring up, but I saw he was all right. I thought, oh my God.
No. Spring up. No, I was concussed and I broke my arm and the bone was sticking out there. That's how much I sprung up. I didn't spring up. But I was all right. That one was a big one.
I know, I saw bits. There were bits of bike, no bigger than that. There's thousands of bits of bike all over the place.
Best thing about it was, I'd been riding 125s before that year, but I knew Mick Grant really well, and Mick Grant had just finished his riding career at Suzuki GB, and he taught them, he's always saying to me, you want to be on a big bike, forget your 125, get a big bike, get a super stock bike. I'll talk Suzuki into lending you a bike. So he says, I've talked him into lending you a bike, go and pick it up down at, it was Crawley then, when they were based at Crawley. Went all the way down with van. They didn't know me from Adam, but they knew what a mate of Mick's, and they lent me this bike. They didn't say anything. They didn't say, sign a paper to pay for any damage. They didn't say anything. They just said, here's the bike, all ready to go. It's got brand new tyres on now, please make sure you bring it back with brand new tyres. That's all he said. Right? Drove home, first time out, went to Scarborough. Now, looking back, my big mistake was leading the race because I was just panicking. I'd never led a race on a big bike before. I didn't know where I was going, didn't know what we're doing. Hit this big jump, and what you meant to do was kind of hit it and land either rear wheel first or both wheels at the same time. Clearly, that's the safest thing to do. And I think I went into it a bit quicker than I ever had because I'm trying to stay in front. And I must have just rolled it just before takeoff. And it took off, and even as it's taking off, it's kind of nosediving. And from the second I took off, I knew it wasn't good. And I really didn't know whether to... You have lots of time to think when these things are happening. And I thought, should I kind of let go and get ready to sort of bail off it, right? You know, like these motocrossers do when they get it wrong in the air, they kind of... Or do I cling on and try and kind of ride it out? And I don't really know which one I did because I hit the floor and it went wrong. The bike hit the banking, it went up, it landed on my arm, and I knew it hurt my arm, and I was a bit concussed. I'm laying down, and the medics are trying to cut my leathers off, and there's a little bit of claret about the place, and it's all a little bit sort of a mess. My mechanic, well, not I say mechanic, just a mate who I took with me just to help, called Ian McMillan, right? I'm the only one who hasn't made it back down, and he knows there's been a massive crash. So he's run back up the track. It's only sort of, 300 yards from where he is in the pits, and he got to me. And it's quite good for me because I saw a kind of friendly face, and I'm a bit scared, I'm a bit shook up. And there's all these marshals and medics cutting the levers off me. And I saw Zach, and honestly, in the back of my mind, the only thing was, we've got to give this bike back. So I'm thinking, it's gone down the road, it's a bit bent, might have scraped a fairing, right? And Zach said he'd walked through what it looked like had been a plane crash. There was nothing bigger than... There was a wheel hanging out of a tree, there was a burning petrol tank 100 yards away from it. There was nothing left. He says, nothing left of it at all. And he's walked through this debris, and as I saw his face looking over, I said, Zach, make sure you get the bike and get all the bits because we've got to give this back. He went, all right. To be fair to him, he got every single bit, put it in my van. 2 weeks later when I got out of hospital, I remember getting home with a sling on, opening the van door, and I only opened it about that far, and little pieces of metal were falling out. To be fair, I did actually put new tyres on the wheels before I sent them back. So, did my job.